we get into this, let us get to today's esteemed panel. First up, founder of themanmindset.com, Steve the Dean Williams. Steve, how's it going, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Absolutely, man. And I think that you can definitely speak to this because as hardcore as you are, I think you're probably a little bit more optimistic than people might give you credit for. So I'll be interested. It'll be very, very interesting to see your take on that. Next up, the king of New York City. No, I'm not talking about Big. I'm talking about Mr. Lucario. How's it going, brother?
What up? What's going on? How you doing, man? How's everybody doing?
Man, I can't call it, man. It's like 90. It's 567 degrees here in Philadelphia. I know it's a hot old town tonight. Jesus Christ. Next up, the fittest man in the manosphere, Mr. Myron, 5% body fat gains. What's going on, Myron?
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm sweating. I just finished doing a workout. I'm dying right now. It's gonna be a good topic, though.
Bro, listen, he was doing push-ups while we were waiting for dudes, right? We're like, all right, waiting for solo. All right, let me get five. Let me get a set of push-ups in.
I have to get one more set in. You know what I'm saying? Nope, no pecs, no sex.
Wow, I like that. Next up, pardon me, the ordained minister of the streets out of Chicago, Mr. Minister Japp. What's going on, brother?
Man, blessings to you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course. Love to have you on. And I think you're gonna be doing some cooking tonight on these here hoes. And by hoes, I mean HEAUX YouTube algorithm. Hoes. Next up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, we call that the Pinkfoot Paradise, the Snow Bunny, the Snow Bunny Oasis. The man in the middle of all of that is Solo TV 84. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's good, guys? Glad to be back on. Let's get it.
Absolutely. This is going to be a good one for you as well. And of course, last but not least, the best dressed man in the manosphere who isn't at, oh, there he is, just in time. Dude, listen, man, Kevin's suit game gets better every time. I remember the very first episode, Kevin had like 3 wardrobe changes. It was crazy. And now he's in here in a clean white suit. What's going on, Kevin?
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Nice.
Thinking you can fix a lot of these American women is a fantasy.
Oh my God. Hey, you know what? I think that's probably why he wore but you're not going to do the plane thing, right?
No, that's for a shorter dude. I'm good.
Good stuff, man.
I'm about to start turning my camera off, bro. Kevin is embarrassing all of us.
I swear to God.
I just keep my camera off, man.
I'm sitting here in a tank top, and this dude is in a
Hey, but if we turn our cameras off, we're going to be just like the nobody.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Big
With a lot of opinions and a lot of games. See, we had the strength and the courage to show what we really were out here. So never will we ever hide our face from this game. So
I do not have respect for anybody who talks a lot. Listen, if you have a strong opinion, cool. If you have a strong opinion but hide your face, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't have time for that nonsense.
You don't count.
We can talk tough, man. Fuck that. Cam Gibson with the $10 super chat said, shout out Steve Rich behind and big dog Myron Gaines. Appreciate that $10 super chat.
Thank you, brother.
Red Sings the Blues, $10 super chat says, if a man submits power, it's not too late for a woman at any age. But if he doesn't, it will always be too late. But it all matters on the man giving or channeling his power in commitment. We will come back to that because I disagree with that, but I appreciate the super chat anyway. Cam Gibson with another $5 super chat says, Godfather game got me to almost double my income at 20 years old, 60 hours minimum. Wow. Way to go, man. So he's certainly doing the listen, he certainly got his finances in order. Good to see that. So let us talk like hell. Let's discuss this right here. So Red Sings the Blues says if a man submits power, it's not too late for a woman at any age. Obviously, he says, but if he doesn't, it will always be too late. That's very profound, but very wrong. And the reason I say this, and again, we appreciate the super chat. In my opinion, there is a line of demarcation for women, and I don't think it has anything to do with her age, at least not in the beginning. And here's what I mean by that. If a virginal girl at 18 years old has sex with one guy and they break up, okay, listen, she can still be wife material, right? If she has sex with another guy, they break up, she can still be wife material, right? Just, not as good as the virgin. When she gets to 5 guys, okay, now she's teetering on the edge. Listen, she's still salvageable, but she is on that line. As soon as girls sleep with guy number 10, it is all over. Because you want to know something? If they sleep with 10 guys, they're going to sleep with 510 guys. So it's not really about a woman's age. It is about her notch count. Her notch count is probably one of the biggest factors, if not the biggest factor, in determining whether or not a woman can be salvaged to be a relationship material. So I'm going to go around the panel here. Steve, I'm going to come to you first because you've been married for over 20 years. What is the line? Is there a line where women cross? Is there a point of no return for women? If not, how do you reel them back in? So,
well, to me, the point of no return is disrespect of all things. That's the point of no return. If she's not following my lead and she's not following what I expect her to do, there's no point of return. If any type of disrespect, any kind of drama, any kind of anything negative, there's no point of return. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So as soon as she disrespects you one time, that's a wrap.
Well, not one time, because because they're going to do a shit test. You know what I mean? Right. They're going to see, are you real gold or are you fool's gold? They're going to bite the gold to see what you are. It's just after that happens and they try it again, you're gone. I don't. It's just too many women out here for me to sit around and worry about what trying to go to Dr. Phil or marriage counseling over some bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that.
that was put together very well. Yes,
very well said, Steve. Mr. Lucario, I want your opinion on this. Is there a point of no return for women in terms of potential quality female? Is it a notch count number? Is it an age? Is there a point of no return? Can women be salvaged?
It depends, because see, the point of no return usually is based off of the actual quality or type of men she's been with. So I think a lot of guys think it's the sex or the notch count. Mm-hmm. It's more so who is the notch count. You know what I'm saying? Basically, if a woman is who is the notch count and who is she with now? So basically, if let's say a woman had sex with 30 dudes, right? And let's say 28 of those dudes was like on point. You understand what I'm saying? They were dudes whose game was on point. They taught her some things, right? She's able to still deal with a guy. You understand what I'm saying? And respect them and do what she got to do. Now, if 28 of those guys was on some BS, right? Then what's going to happen is that her relationship to men is fucked up. So she may not be salvageable because she's too far gone. You see what I'm saying? But what happens is that based off the actual guy she's with at the moment, based off of his game, she's going to be able to cooperate with that guy based off his game. This is why, for example, you could have a pimp who can deal with like a stripper or a chick in the life, and she'll be cooperative to him versus a square dude who she'll run all over him. You understand what I'm saying? So she got a whole bunch of notch counts, and she's been doing whatever she does. But one guy's able to get her to cooperate, one guy's able to not. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, that makes perfect sense, and I've never thought of it that way.
Right.
And here's what I learned something every day when I talk to you guys. What Mr. Lucario just said, in essence, is not all bodies are created equally in terms of the men that have sex with these women, right? If a woman has a string of one night stands with a bunch of ain't shit niggas, then guess what? She shit, right? But if she has a string of relationships, I guess, with high caliber, high value men, don't get me wrong, that's not good that she has a high body count, but it's almost like highway miles versus city miles, right? You want a girl with highway miles rather than city miles. Those are obviously a little more rough. Very well put. I've never thought of it that way. Myron, what are your thoughts on the point of no return? Is there a point of no return, notch count wise, age wise? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say it like for the new viewers in here. I live in Miami, guys. So this is how I do it. I basically assume, and I know Solo's gonna agree with me on this. She belongs to the streets until proven otherwise. And the reality is, I think a lot of guys go into it thinking like, oh, I really hope she's this way or whatever. And the thing is that when you go into it with that mindset, you're gonna hope and have perceptions, and you're gonna miss red flags that you otherwise would have been cognizant of if you had if you were aware of what the hell was going on. So I say you got to vet her, and and I'm not gonna. The thing is, I agree with Lucario. The quality of her notch count definitely matters, and then I also say the way a woman treats you is a direct reflection of how much she respects you. So you can tell, like, if a girl is whooping a dude's ass in the parking lot, right, on World Star, it's not really. I never blame it on the girl. I blame it on the guy, because that didn't start there. That's been probably months or years in progress in the working. So it's that guy's fault. A woman is only going to act the way you allow her to. And at the end of the day, you're the leader. So whatever she does is what you're tolerating. So if it's bad behavior, then that's bad on you as a leader. So I say, she belongs to my basic rule is this. She belongs to the streets until proven otherwise. And if she does meet some of these metrics of someone that's worth a possible long-term relationship, that's when you start the process of seeing if she's qualified to be trained to be your girlfriend. Because I agree with you on this, Donovan. I think everyone on the panel agrees that you have to train her to become the woman that you love and will support you, because it's got to be that way, because she's got to help you build and be a part of your empire versus the other way around. Because if it's the other way around, it just doesn't work. You can't defer to a woman's authority. She's got to defer to yours for her to stay attracted to you.
Dude, this guy is the most underrated dude in the manosphere, man.
Thank you, guys.
Dude, every time he talks. Let me quickly get to these super chats before I get to Jap, Solo, pardon me, and Kevin. So, Legend of Salmonia with a $2 super chat says, peace to the chat and salute to the 7. Appreciate that super chat. Quarantino de God says, I agree with Lucario that the last 5 men she slept with didn't do anything for her to benefit her life/status. She's for the streets. Okay, you got some people that are close on that. CGA, Coach Greg Adams says she's never yours, it's your turn. No, actually, Coach Greg Adams did not say that. Donovan Sharp said that 5.5 years ago in his very first introduction. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Okay, so Jap, what are your thoughts on, expound on what Myron said? She is for the streets until proven otherwise. In other words, I'm going to treat you like a hoe until you prove to me that you're not to be treated like a hoe. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I always tell guys on my channel all the time, lower your expectations because you'll never be disappointed. You know what I mean? So if I'm expecting you to be a hoe, you know what I mean? If she becomes a hoe, I can't be disappointed. But what I wanted to talk about was this body count aspect of the game that we're talking about. And I don't want to come at it from a religious standpoint, but I want guys to understand that women absorb men. And I know this to be a fact because there are women right now who I have dealt with, who have dealt with me for the years that they have encountered with me, who are on another man's watch right now, and they still adhere to my dietary regimen based on my religious preference. Women that you may have inherited, they tend to absorb the niggas that they were dealing with before you. And that's why it's very, very important to understand the type of guys this bitch fucks with raw, because protected dicks don't really count. The raw dick does. And that is what she absorbs, the behaviors, the mannerisms, everything. If she, you're dealing with another man's project when you inherit her. And a lot of guys don't take time to examine that. A lot of these women are just what another man molded her to be. And unfortunately, like we said with that body count thing, yeah, there, high body count is it is a red flag, but raw body count is a totally different thing, because that's the motherfucker she loves. That's the motherfucker that she, will kill, die for, and acts like. You know what I mean? And a lot of these guys understand, these women ride or die for these braggedy, dirty dick, Rodney niggas that was in their life, that was doing them dirty, but they was rawing them. Now, they had casual sex, and a lot of women can walk away from casual sex, but your average woman cannot just walk away from raw, passionate sex.
Right.
And the men that they were having the passionate sex, that's the men that they obey and they act accordingly to. So a lot of times you're like, man, that might have been that guy's program.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Listen, that makes all the sense in the world. And I think what we have to understand, and we all know, I think we're all familiar with the concept of alpha widow. And basically an alpha widow is a woman who always pines for that one guy that she'll never get over. It doesn't matter if she's in a relationship, if she's married, if she's fucking dudes on the side. If that dude calls her, she is going to go fuck that guy because she'll do anything for him. So I think in a lot of cases, a lot of times these women are for the streets. They get alpha widowed by the wrong dudes. Like, it's better to be alpha widowed by a dude with class than an ain't shit nigga living in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's where
I've never heard that term, alpha widow.
Well, yeah, that's what it is, man. It's like she hooks up, dude. It could be a relationship, it could be casual, but it's the highest value man she's ever been with, and that guy is the bar for every other guy. She compares him to everybody else. That's the alpha widow, and I think a lot of times women are being alpha widowed by the wrong men, which makes them for the streets. I think that's
facts. That's 100% true. I mean, I just want to touch on that real quick because I've dated a few girls, man, that have been with celebrities, athletes, rappers, etc. And what happens is they basically they deal with these guys, but these guys see them nothing more than like a sexual object, right? Because they got so many other girls. But that girl thinks, oh wow, like this is the caliber guy that I can get, and it kind of ruins it hurts her ability to deal with normal dudes after that. You know what I'm saying? Because she's gonna hold the next guys up to that standard. And let's face it, most guys can't rise to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to date a girl that used to mess with Future. And I'm not saying I made a hit song or anything like that, but obviously the bar was set. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I was able to do that Future does is say, bitch, don't get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality. But all jokes aside, guys, like the thing is that a lot of these attractive girls, especially if you live in a major city like New York City, Vegas, LA, Miami, etc., these girls have probably rubbed elbows or been with or hung out with or even hooked up with a super high value male, right? And that definitely changes their perspective on the marketplace. And that's why the average guy is having such a hard time finding a counterpart nowadays, because a lot of girls are hooking up with really high value guys. And it's just that it's not out there. You know what I mean? Until you really get in the world and you deal with these very attractive girls, you're not going to find out. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I was going to say, just to add on.
Listen, this is a very good question for Solo and Kevin. So I'm going to come to you first with this, Solo. Based on what Myron just said, I'll actually frame it to you like this, because I agree with Myron. I think that whatever value a guy is that a girl dates, she always thinks she deserves the highest value guy that she's dated, fucked, had sex with. A very good friend of mine has a girlfriend who has fucked Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. Real fucking talk, 100%. And guys, this chick is a badass bitch for real. You get girls out here that fuck with these celebrities and these guys with a lot of clout, and just like Myron said, they think, well, hell, if I can fuck him once, then I deserve a relationship with a Vin Diesel type motherfucker. And that's not how it works. So in your opinion, Solo, do you think that ruins girls? Like they go super high? It's almost like bacon. You put bacon on a sandwich, you can never not have bacon again. You fly first class, you can never not fly first class again. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this is a concept, Donovan, I've talked about, you've talked about, the concept of how women conflate their sexual market value with their marriage market value, right? Relationship market value. So for example, for those guys who don't get it, a woman's sexual market value, she could be a 5, but guess what? A guy who's a Chad, Brad, or Tyrone, or in the upper echelon, like a Vin Diesel or like a Paul Walker, if he might be in a rough patch, he might bunker bust to the chick, right? But marriage market value, a guy like Vin Diesel or Paul Walker, they're not going to marry a 5. And this is the main issue a lot of women are having, especially when they go on these dating apps like Tinder, right? Where they might be a high value guy's booty call for the night or side piece, but then they think that because they get bunker busted by that guy, now they have the right to marry the guy like that or snag him as a boyfriend. And real quick, Donovan, I remember one time I was at a bar in my area and I overheard 2 women talking about how they were getting pumped and dumped, right? And so I kind of interjected myself in the conversation. I'm like, I'm curious, what type of guys are you dealing with? So then they were showing me their Tinder app and the type of guys they were dealing with. And I looked at them straight up and said, the problem is you girls are dealing with men out of your league, out of your level. You feel me? And what I mean by that is I don't mean like out of their league that they can't deal with these men on the sexual place, but these women wanted to lock down these type of guys. And they were like 6s at 7s at best. And they're messing with these guys that are like, one was like a amateur, athlete and whatnot and stuff like that. So women conflate those two. And I think another thing Unplugged fits it that's highly underrated. He says a woman is only going to act a way that the man allows, right? And so a lot of women, once they get to a certain age or point of how many bananas they've gobbled up, as you would say, Donovan. That's the point of no return, and that's the point we'll be touching on here on today's show.
Very good.
Solo speaking facts, man.
Yeah, real talk, man. Let me shout out a couple of super chats. Red Pill Mike had a $20 super chat. I'm going to come back to that because I want to go around the panel on that. But let me shout these out. Francis Anamage says stopping by to pay tuition. Thanks to Donovan and the 7 for the awesome content. We greatly appreciate that. Merciless 6 says when chicks say, "Oh, he don't count," what does that mean? He hit it twice. Does a chick's version of a drought mean smash and whack dudes? That's exactly what that means. That's what he wants you to think. I haven't been, and I say this all the time, I haven't been in a relationship in 6 years. Translation, you spent the last 6 years getting smashed and dashed. That's all that was.
Back to Mundo.
Ryan Sullivan, long time no see, with a $10 super chat. Says, by the way, who invented the idea of relationship market value? I first heard it from Donovan. Did you invent it? I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But what Solo said was spot on. And women always make this mistake. Just because he wants to fuck you does not mean he wants to commit. Listen, man, Paul Walker, the late Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, I'll fucking smash hoes until they're blue in the fucking face. They're not putting a ring on no hoes, man. Like, fuck that. Get out of here with that. That's where women go wrong, is they think they conflate sexual attention with commitment attention, and that's why they get frustrated. So let me go back to let me come to Kevin with this, and then we'll go to Red Pill Mike's question. So, Kevin, do you believe that there is a point of no return for women? If so, is it the age? Is it the body count? Is it a combination of two? Or is there no point of no return?
This is one of those kind of questions.
Right?
Huh? Because here's the thing. I could say body count, but then I know high caliber escorts who squared up and become stepwives. But again, you start looking, but they only dealt with a high caliber of clientele, kind of like what the guys were saying about. It's the kind of guy you mess with more than anything else. But I do think there is a component for the average woman. Now the average woman, I think it has a lot to do with her age more than anything else. Because what I'm seeing a lot, man, is once they get into what I call when they start getting into that danger zone. That 27 to 35, that's that danger zone. Once they cross out of the danger zone, man, they're in no man's land. From 35 to over, it's pretty much a wrap. See, the caliber of dude you kicked it with has something to do with it, but human beings, by our nature, we are looking for consistency and we try to sit into patterns, and they're pretty much stuck into a pattern until they decide to change. No different than an alcoholic or an addict. They know what's going on. If they decide to have a moment of clarity that they want to do something about it, is it possible to change? Yeah, but is it probable? No.
Kevin, I think that you and Lucario, this is something I have never, and guys, I've been in the game forever. I've fucked, hundreds of girls and all this and that. I have never, ever thought, I thought that a body was a body. If a girl fucked 20 guys, she's a hoe. But here's the thing. You guys are putting me up on game in terms of the quality of men. If the average, let's just call it relationship market or value, right? We take girls on their looks. If she's a 10, she's a fucking smoke show. If she's a 1, she's ugly, right? Let's say that the average woman, the caliber of guy she usually sleeps with is between a 6 and a 7. A lot of those guys ain't shit. Ain't got no job, no goals, no nothing. But then you got your high-level escort who can turn themselves into Stepford wives and be good wives. Why? Because the only men they slept with are super high-value men, CEOs, business owners, fourth-generation business owners. So it's almost like she's not dating laterally, she's marrying laterally, and she knows how to act, having dealt with the high caliber of men.
Donovan, you got to understand what